I came across an African proverb which states that until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. This can be applied to board meetings. If a board's decisions and discussions are not recorded accurately, the narrative may be controlled or misinterpreted by those with selective memories or ulterior motives. Hi, my name is Jimmy Walabiechi, and you are welcome to Corporate Governance Africa, where we seek to promote good governance through film. In this video, we consider some basic but very profound points concerning writing great board minutes. Great board minutes are an accurate documentation of the board members' perspectives and input at board meetings. These minutes ensure that there is transparency and accountability in the process of the board's oversight, especially through the board meetings. I interviewed Jen Okot Bitek Langoya, where she briefly discusses important points regarding board minutes. These should apply whether or not the business or organization's board uses an automated method of capturing the minutes, or if they use a manual method of writing their board minutes. It is therefore relevant for any organization or any business. Here is Jen as she gives us the C's of great board minutes.
They've got to be concise. This is the précis I was talking about. In summary form, concise. Don't beat around the bush and talk too many things. It's got to be clutter-free. And that means, for instance, you'll have a lot of board members talking. Now, the secretary has got to be a good listener. Alongside what I said earlier, you need to understand this time not to respond, but to record what the other person has said. So I've had a board, the biggest number of board members I have is 11. So you've got these 11 people, each giving different points. You're recording. In the end, you've got to sum it up and have like maybe a few observations, but where you, from your reading, you find that this is where their minds were meeting. So you're not going to say, Jimmy said this, Jen said that, Joseph said this, Joshua said that. No. It's got to be clutter-free. And people, one thing I found, and when I'm giving workshops to secretaries, I tell them is when every board member can read the component of whether you say observations or the board commented, they read that. There are no names, but all of them, and there are few lines, but all of them feel that what they said was included. Then you've arrived in Ugandan speak. Yeah. So you've got to know how to make it concise but clutter-free. Clarity. It needs to be very clear. What is this minute about? It's got to be complete. There needs to be consistency. Don't start with present tense, then go to past tense, and then go to future past tenses. You've got to be consistent and compliant. There are formats usually, and it's usually important to understand what your board requires, and you follow that. And it's got to be correct. There's got to be correctness in the minutes. Usually, if you feel as you're writing the notes, if you feel you do not quite understand what they said, because at times there can be so many varying comments, it's better before the chair moves, you ask the chair, please chair, can I read out what my summary of this is, or could you please summarize what the decision is? And the chair will help you. And then that's what you write. And there'll be no contestation afterwards, because the board members are there and they're listening to what the chair says. The other thing is you need to develop some kind of shorthand. For instance, the word board, for me, BD would do. If I wrote BD, I knew that meant board. Chair was CH. Because sometimes I'd write, if it's Jimmy, put JW, for instance. Then I know this is what Jimmy said. But in the end, I would summarize it as board. But I've got all the different points from who said what. in an abbreviated manner, because you do not have time to write it in longhand. You miss a lot of points. Yeah.
In the beginning of this video, I began with a proverb which said that until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. When a board, through their company secretary, effectively writes great board minutes, the lion in effect learns to write its own story. Great board minutes are not just records, but they are tools that drive accountability and transparency in the organization, especially with respect to the board's affairs in the oversight of that organization. The quality of your minutes can shape the story of your board's legacy. What other important points do you think are relevant for effective board minutes or great board minutes to be written to reflect the affairs or proceedings of the board at board meetings?